Yes, guys, welcome to another episode of Matt Zena Acting Tips. Now, I am really at the moment dealing with what some of the biggest kind of problems, questions that actors face, all right? And I've been doing that for a few episodes now based on research. Now, one of the biggest issues facing actors is financial insecurity, how to be kind of one of these kind of actors that's picking up jobs here and there. How do you balance that? How can you keep sane? I'm only going to give you what my suggestions are, all right? And the only problem is it requires hard work, all right? But I know that what I'm about to tell you is absolutely possible. So you want to be a full-time actor, I say be a full-time actor. Make the decision tomorrow. Okay? Be a full-time actor. But it requires hard work. And I'm going to give you I'm going to tell you what that looks like. All right? And I think that everybody should do it. And you would be, I reckon you'd be more financially secure than kind of doing a bar job and waiting for auditions to come along and things like that. I think it's kind of makes more financial sense. All right? So, acting work is in 3 categories, okay? And obviously you want the top category, but that's only going to come around as an emerging actor once in a blue moon, all right? So have an agent, audition regularly for these top jobs. And when they come in, they take priority in your calendar. They're well paid, brilliant, done. Then under that, you've got self-submission type jobs, lower paid jobs. You audition and you send and you self-submit for as many of those as possible. Brilliant. When they come in, they go in your calendar. And they're paid. Brilliant. We've got that. Then what happens is you've got your engine room to fill in the gaps, fill in the blanks, okay? And your engine room is things like special events, things like Christmas elves, things like being Santa, things like scareground acting, things like even being Cupid, all right? But special events, characters, whatever it is that you need to do. Second thing, remember, don't be proud about that. If you want to be a full-time actor, do the hard yards. Secondly, things like voiceover, regular work, all right? Make sure you've got a booth at home. Make sure that you do things like role play. This is your engine room. This is how you can fill up and be a full-time actor and fill up the rest of those days, all right? You can do things like social media content creation on behalf of big companies. You can become an entrepreneur, and you can literally go out to business and say, as an actor, how can I help you? Can I help you with social media creation? Can I help you with presenting maybe? Can I help you with special events where I come in and maybe pretend to be paparazzis for your clients or your staff, all right? And you start to kind of plug away at what I call these engine room jobs and just fill up your calendar during the month, all right? As well as that, you can do things like workshop leading. That's how I started off, and that's how I decided that I even preferred it, okay? But you can sustain a full-time living from being an actor. It just takes a lot of hard work to work with your agent, to self-submit, to then really become an entrepreneur by going around and making sure that you fill up the rest of your calendar, your month, with constant work, including promo work as well. I forgot promo work. Promo work is massive for actors, okay? So that is how you can sustain a full-time, financially free, full-time acting career, but it takes hard work. Now, he won't mind me saying, but I've got an acting coach who works with MZA called Alan Shires. Absolute legend. Now, he was managing, I think it was Costa or Burger King, and just said, look, this isn't for me. I want to be a full-time actor. And he did exactly this. This is how he became an acting coach as well, alongside teaching voiceover, became a voiceover expert. And now he is moving to the USA because he's got a film role over there. But he's only done that from flicking the switch and decided I'm going to work hard and I'm going to do exactly what I love for the rest of my life. Remember, Remember this, if you do what you love, you will never work a day in your life. And I don't think that Alan's worked a day in his life ever since, okay? Because he literally loves what he does, and it comes through. It makes him more positive than the actors that are maybe doing bar jobs or office jobs when they don't want to be, all right? So if you're willing to work hard, you can do that. And so many people have done that. I've got people who I mentor that are doing this. Alan is a great casing subject, and that's what I think you should do. Another option is to be financially kind of on top of everything, to feel good about what you're doing, to be in this industry full time is, so say if you are in an office, or say if you are in telesales or something like this, there's a great website called artsjobs.org.uk, which is basically an arts jobs kind of website for particularly in the UK. I don't know if there's something like this abroad or in America, but in the UK we've got artsjobs.org.uk, which is basically run by the Arts Council, and it's all of the jobs that have a kind of arts flavour to them. So if you don't feel kind of secure enough to just go, right, get rid of the office job, I'm going full-time actor, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, what you can do is look on that website and say if you work in an office, you can work in an office, but in an arts environment. It might be working for a theatre, or it might be telesales for a company that sell kind of plays in a day to schools or something like that. So arts jobs, even if you work in a bar, it will transfer you to a theatre bar, and if you work in this industry in even in that way, you'll feel so much better about what you're doing than if you just kind of don't work in it at all. Plus, a lot of the people around you and surrounding you will be more understanding about you maybe going for auditions and things like that. So those are your two options. Another thing is say if you are and you don't just want to do it straight away, what you do, and this happens with most businesses, it happened with mine, is you have a job and then you have a business. Business is down here, job's up there. Business comes up, you less and reduce your hours until the business takes over, and then the day job just goes because you're sustaining enough income, all right? And that is an incredibly good way to do it. But just waiting around in a job you don't like, waiting for a big audition to come up, and then when you get that audition, because you're not in the arts and because you're not constantly acting and performing, I don't think you're going to do as well with that audition than somebody who's just gone, right, you know what, sod it. I'm just going to go all in. I'm going to be constantly performing, fill up my whole diary. I'm going to become an entrepreneur. I'm going to be a full-time actor. I'm going to have an acting business. I'm going to be constantly doing it. And then imagine the confidence you'd have from doing that. And then you're alongside somebody who's just in an office job and does an audition like once every blue moon. Who's going to be more confident? Who's going to have more chance of succeeding in that audition? If you ask me, it's the one that's gone into this acting business full time. And I would suggest that you really think, look, I can do this. I'm going to work hard and I'm going to fill up my diary each and every month, and I'm going to get rid of the day job. And even if you do it, the tough way where you just kind of go, right, day job, bye. Or you do this bit where you make sure that the day job reduce the hours and get the kind of the finances of the business up, or you do it where you transfer your day job into a job that's similar but in the arts, so that you feel like you're surrounded by it and you're more happy and content about it. Those are your options, all right? And I hope you found that really useful. I know this is a huge problem for actors constantly, but that's the absolute truth of it. If you've got any questions, just feel free to ask, put them in the comments, and I'll be happy to help. But apart from that, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Matt Zena Acting Tips. Make sure you subscribe, so that you get next week's episode. Let's go!